At the end of 6th grade, I felt weak. I sat on a bench in my school gymnasium with my presidential physical fitness scores in my hand, and they were incredibly low. Although I was an active kid, I was not very healthy. While my peers were called up to be recognized for their outstanding scores, I just sat there, and I felt really sad. But in that sadness, I also had a spark of hope that I could change this. And I couldn't share it with my friends. I thought they'd just laugh at me, but I could share it with my parents. Although they were not fitness experts, they had an unwavering belief in me. So they bought me a pull-up bar. They got me a sit-up mat. They took me to the track. They would watch me hang from the pull-up bar for days, for weeks. Eventually I could do my first pull-up. They would hold my ankles as I struggled through one sit-up after the other. Fast forward a year, my physique was transformed and I aced that test. I got one of the highest scores at my school. My mindset was revolutionized. That confidence, that strength that I found on the track, on the pull-up bar, it translated over to anything I took on. And so I think back to my story and how lucky I was to have parents that believed in me. And I think we can replicate that for every youth, regardless of what their background is or what their experiences might be, by forming a positive fitness community that's welcoming, that's supportive, that develops their confidence, that develops their strength and their power. They also can transform, and they transform together. And I call this the Huddle. The Huddle has community, it teaches confidence, and of course, it stresses health and well-being. For community, we talk a lot. We talk at the start of practice to check in. We talk at the end of practice to check out. We share our goals together, regardless of how big they might seem or how small they might seem. But there's no fear there in openly sharing that because they know they won't be judged and they'll be supported. For confidence, they're able to lead practice. We have a leader of the day that rotates for every practice, so they're able to speak, to lead their peers through exercises. They're also able to experience workouts that really require not too much material resources, just their body weight. But going through that process over and over again and having sustained commitment, they can see the transformation that can take place if you stick with something. And of course, their fitness improves by working out together, by going through those exercises together, supporting each other. They get better. And they also develop empathy for each other.
You see other role models and then you become a role model for someone who's younger than you, whether that be someone who's in high school or even a middle schooler. So you get to put your impact on a lot of people.
Kindness, welcome arms. It's not a place you should feel really left out, or at least any fear, any type of negativity.
One story that really highlights the importance of the Huddle is the story of Abby. And so our team, we meet up in the corner of the field of the school. This is pre-COVID, of course. And so there's an after-school program, and I see Abby, who at the time in this past January was a 7th grader, just wandering the field. And so I reach out to one of our juniors on the team named Julie, and I say, Julie, go talk with Abby. Invite her over. See if she wants to join the Huddle. Julie goes and talks to her. They seem to have a pleasant conversation. Julie returns. Abby continues on. The next day again, I see Abby wandering the field. I say, Julie, go chat with her. See if you can convince her this time. Same thing plays out. The third day, Abby shows up to our Huddle. She stands there in the circle at the start of practice with her teammates. Days turn into weeks, weeks into months, and Abby is transformed. A girl who was previously bullied by her peers has found a community. She has found her voice. She wants to be the one leading the stretch circle, reading the SAT word of the day, the one leading the entire practice. I think before that experience, she did not realize the vast potential that she had. But being in that supportive community, it brought out the very best in her. And her story is not unique. Every year, we have young men and women go through a similar transformation. And they transform together. And as we spread the Huddle concept Since we're all just one big community, we all get stronger together.